broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Certified quality. That the girl them need and I cry for every day without apology.
What up, AFTERBUZZ? Your boy DJ Jesse Janedy here in studio for Bring It. Yes, Tracy's Revenge episode. I know you guys are like, who the hell is this guy? Unfortunately, your host could not be here in studio, but we wanted to make sure we guys gave you an episode. And what better person than someone who loves Ratchet television, people? Here I am to review Bring It. Now, I have heard of this show. I have seen clips here and there, and it looks incredible and amazing, and lo and behold, it was. DD4L, I am team Dancing Dolls all the way. However, I must say, YCDT Superstars, I'm fucking with y'all. Can I say fuck on this? The little kids watch this show? You know what? Oh well, we're gonna go with it. They be swearing at the little kids, and I'm just sitting here looking at these parents like, y'all let her talk to your kid like that? But then they probably just be talking to the kids just the same way, because I'm just like, she said ass in front of all of these children. But that's fine. All right, so we start the episode off where there's going to be the dance explosion competition in Clarksdale, Mississippi. And the dancing dolls are signed up for the creative dance category and the stand battle. Now, I had no idea what a stand battle was. So I watched it. I'm into the stand battle. I was really into the stand battle. I felt like I was watching Bring It On. Or what's the one with B2K in it? Was that Bring It On? That was Bring It On. No. You got served. So we get there. My favorite part about the whole show is the moms, 100%. The fact that they're locked outside of the studio on the sidewalk of a parking lot is hilarious to me. And they're peeking through the shades. You know, Miss Diana had them shades drawn. She was like, I seen Abby's dance, Mom, and we are not having y'all up in here talking to me. So they're working on different dance routines and whatnot. Diana's a very interesting person. I wish Corinne was here so that I could get her opinion on this, because to me, Diana is, you know, I love the fact that she is very passionate. Sometimes I wonder if that passion can become a little too much, and I wonder if sometimes that passion overshadows the creativeness in the performance for the girls. Because as I'm watching this, I loved the ideas that we were working with. So the dancing dolls, Diana came up with this idea where they're dressed in like Silence of the Lamb, like suits, and they're gonna act crazy, and the whole thing is that they act crazy and then they're gonna be free and they're gonna be lifted up from this and break out and dance and song. Cool concept, like Buffy the Musical or something. It was a cool concept. What I'm confused about is during the week what y'all was doing during the practices. So Diana does this thing where she teaches the kids choreography and instantly they do first round cuts. Now, this can seem kind of harsh, because as I'm watching, I'm like, that ain't fair. Like, because we had, what, Sky and Star? I was like, poor little Sky and Star. Like, they just want to dance, you know what I mean? But, so they do the first round of cuts, and I understand what Diana was saying. She was like, this is horrible. Like, y'all was half-assing it, which they were, but it's also the first time they're ever learning the choreography. Let's give them some slack. But in the dance world, you have to be on point. You're going to go into an audition, you ain't going to get another chance. You're not going to get to, you know, hey, you know what? My leg was a little rough that time. Let me go again. No, that ain't how it works. You have to show it your first time, and no one really cares about your feelings in auditions. So there is a balance, I feel like, where you have to kind of get the kids prepped for that. But at the same time, it's like, they're 12. I'm assuming they're 12. I don't know. They was dancing like they was 27 in the club with a few, like, gin and tonics in them, the way they was bucking around. But whatever. So they did this chair split thing, and I was looking at some of the girls like, now, Miss Diana, I heard that you might have done porn in the past. Well, I was like, let's not bring that to the children dancing, because I was like, the chair split, like, did we even see that in the actual performance? Which I'm hope that got pulled out of the performance, but whatever. So, people who got cut. Chantel, Brianna, Azaria, Star, and Sky. I mean, no shade, but those girls were a little, you know, they weren't keeping up with the Joneses. So then we get on the opposite side of that is, sorry girl, Zantia, I'm assuming her name is. Now, she was someone that I was looking out from the beginning. I like her movement and whatnot. But as I was watching the first round cuts, I was like, ooh, she gonna come for her. She gonna come for her. And she did, but she, like, it was one of those things where she was, like, scared him a little bit. Make it think, like, you ain't gonna get it, but then you actually get it. And it was her arms. And it's funny because that's exactly what I was saying. I was like, girl, why are your arms so stiff in this? But she nervous. It was the first time she did the choreography, but she made the cut. So that's all that matters, girl. So moving on from that, we have Miss Selena, again with the mothers. My favorite part of this entire episode was Selena outside of the dance studio trying to ask Sky and Star, like, what happened? What's going on? No, why are you sitting down? That had me rolling off my ass. And Sky and Star just looking like, we can't tell you right now, like. So Miss Selena comes inside. She talks to Diana. She's like, hey, Diana, girl, like, can I see you outside? You don't ever walk into somebody. First of all, I'm just like, is that how you would really approach a teacher? Like, now I know y'all have history and whatnot, but is that really how you approach somebody? Like, excuse me, could I speak to you outside? Like, dance class is over. Why can't you just have the conversation inside? Like, you being dramatic. Like, can you come outside? Like, I'm going to think you're going to want to fight me too. Like, and Miss Diana looked like she don't play. Like, Miss Diana looked like she was going to come out with some damn spray in her hand. Like, well, bitch, what you want to talk about? I was just looking, you know what I mean? So, Selena, you got to be careful about who you approaching sometimes. So she said, I have a great idea. How about the twins try out again? Well, girl, that ain't how it work. I don't know where you've been. You've been watching, I don't know if Abby be letting them do that or what. Like, maybe you watch So You Think You Can Dance. Like, I'm just like, do you ever watch any? No, because you watch any of these other dance shows, nobody gets a second chance. There ain't no 2 times, honey. Like, American Idol used to let people try 2 times at the beginning. They don't let them get a second chance no more. So sorry, Sky and Star. Like, now, at the same time, Selena says that she feels Diana has her favorites, which could be true, because I don't know who her favorites are. I don't know what girls keep getting called back. But I'm also kind of like, well, I mean, if Star and Scott ain't getting picked all the time, maybe it's time for them to move to a different dance crew. And that's sad to say, and that, you know, whatever. But, I mean, it does get to a point where clearly this isn't like a recreational sport for the kids just to have fun. Like, this is a strict competition. I mean, they are running these kids like damn boot camp, you know? So it's like, if you want, you know, Sky and Star to have a place, maybe they need to go over to the Virtuous Divine or whatnot. I don't know. So Selena's upset with how strict Diana is. Again, I can understand it to a certain point. Like, girl, you know what this is. First of all, you know there's cameras here. So if you don't want your kid to feel embarrassed, feel left out, understand the games that are going to be played with cameras there. Diana going to be, whatever Diana normally is in real life, she's times 10 with the cameras there, I'm assuming. So, moving on from that. Diana can't tell the difference. She's talking about between Sky and Star. She said, you need to put your hands out of my face. Which I'm like, you talking about Diana and the way she treats kids, but here you are. What kind of example are you setting out front of the dance studio? And that's all I'm saying, because I'm totally fine for parents, you know, approaching a teacher and having a conversation about, hey, you know, my kid's been sitting on the bench past 2 weeks. I'm totally cool with that. However, again, by going inside, asking her to step outside, now you're doing it in front of everybody. It causes a little bigger of a scene in front of the other moms, the other kids waiting in the cars. So I'm just kind of like, you know, there should have been a more private place for that. Because then it's like, girl, you sitting up here getting hyphy. Like, what are your kids doing? You know what I mean? Like, are you watching these two? What does their mother think of that? Miss Diana talking about, I'm glad I don't want to go to jail. I could totally see Miss Diana going ham. But I know she was saving that for Miss Tracy. Well, that was the stunt master line. So they're practicing for the the stand dance, right? And apparently Tracy and the YCDT Superstars had brought guys to the last dance, which totally love that. So then we get Andre joining the Dancing Dolls. And live for Andre and his little backflips and whatnot. I wish we saw a little more of the dancing because I'm like, so he does these backflips in rehearsal and he slams into the mirror and hurts himself. And nobody's caring. I thought Miss Diana was going to be a little more harsher. So I'm glad that she had an empathetic state of mind when she realized, okay, his toe bleeding, like, he crying for real, for real. You know, it ain't no, like, put some ice on it, like, he need to go sit somewhere. So I was really nervous because I was like, what they going to do without Andre? And whatever. Now we get over to YCDT Superstars. So apparently this is the beef between them. So the first competition, the Dancing Dolls lost. The second one, the Dancing Dolls won. And now that leaves us to the third competition, in which Tracy feels third time's a charm, she gonna win. So also Tracy a little sour because Miss Diana kind of came from Miss Tracy by having a man dress up as her in the dance competition, which again, I'm just kind of like, that seems inappropriate, Diana. Like, it just, you know what I mean? Like, leave it for the kids. Like, you know what I mean? If you want to have the kids wear the other girls' uniforms and make fun of that, fine. But like, to bring an adult into it, I'm just like, you're taking it away from the kids. I don't know. But maybe I missed the whole concept of the dance. I have to go back and watch that because that looked hilarious to me. Talking about she looked like Grace Jones. I can't. But so YCDT decides they're going to bring live instruments to this. So we get to the dance explosion competition. And I was so into this, and I'm so irritated that Corinne is not here so we can just talk about this. So I want y'all to leave some comments below what y'all thought of the dance competition because I need to talk about this with someone. I'm just sitting here ranting right now. Okay, so we get first, we meet the Dazzle Stars. Which I don't know if they were the Dazzling Stars, the Dazzled Stars, the Dazzle Stars, because the guy who was hosting the event called them like 2-3 different names. So we got Miss Eleanor. She's the coach, apparently. I loved their chant. I was like, okay, I might be here for the Dazzle Stars. Until I seen their outfits later, I was like, we get Virtuous Divine. God bless them. Sweet little girls. Just totally wrong competition. We got Miss Fulvia. They're a new team. Not as militant, I must say, compared to the other 3 teams. Seemed a little more organized. Yeah, we'll use that word. We get YCDT Superstars. Tracy's lost her voice. She's excited, though, because of the live drums. It's interesting seeing the difference in teaching, because I feel like Tracy delivers a very strict, militant-like personality, but it seems like she's more of a listener when it comes to the kids. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I'm just judging off of the vibe that I get between coach and kids. Seems like she knows who her go-to girls are. She can depend on certain girls to infiltrate the rest of the girls. And so, I don't know. It seems like a smoother work environment for Miss Tracy versus Miss Diana, where it's like, Miss Diana seemed like a damn Virgo where she's like, nobody touch nothing. I'ma handle it all. I'ma deal with this. And it gets a little rough because, you know, it seemed like the kids didn't really know what the choreography was. They're going into this, like, one of the girls talking about, my dad gonna push me out, and he's wondering what time I'm gonna go out. I don't know what time I'm supposed to be pushed out. I'm the one being pushed. Now, see, that kind of attitude, you should not be up on that stage. Because we've been practicing for this for a week, and you don't know when you're supposed to be up on stage. You don't know when your mark is. You don't know what time you're supposed to be out there. Like, issue. Bet you Sky and Star would have known when to be pushed out. Just kidding. Everyone's freaking out with the Dancing Stars, and Dancing Dolls, and I don't blame them. So we get to the first creative dance. Let me see the Dazzling Stars. Now they decided to wear Beyonce Love on Top outfits for that. Apparently it was good because, I mean, what'd they get? 2nd or 3rd place right there? They got second place, so love on top, y'all. That did that. I was looking at them outfits like, really? Looking like Pinocchio. Then we get Virtuous Divine. The basic step team outfits. You know what I mean? I guess that's very traditional. And then we get YCDT Superstars, and I lived for this entire performance. This was, I mean, blew everyone out the water. They came out like it was Destiny's Child live from Atlanta, the Beyonce solo part where Beyonce comes out to Baby Boy with her umbrella and is like, I was just looking like, oh, what are they gonna do? They brought boxes out. They was with their hula skirts. At first, then I was like, y'all really did wear hula scoops for an African dance. But that's fine. You know what I mean? We gotta make it work. Maybe the African skirts didn't come in, so they just had to go to Party City. So they get out there with their little makeup on, dancing, and they killing it. They do an African dance to this techno song, and I was sitting up there like, want to get my little Zulu Nation on. And then the live drummers come out, and everyone's like, oh my God. Even the moms from Dancing Dolls was trying not to jive to that. And then the final surprise was there was this box the whole performance. Now, before we get to the surprise, I have to say that these girls are so on point. Like, they were into it. You could see they were ready. They were focused. They were determined. They hit majority of their marks. So they came ready to fight. They came for blood. And when that box opened and Miss Tracy popped out, I had several emotions go through me. Like, one, bitch, what are you doing? Like, really, girl? But two, I was like, yes, bitch, because you is just strutting down there with that body like that, with that hair like that. And she was on point. And she said, she bent, did a little shoulder shrug over. I was like, yes, Miss Tracy. And I get it because they, you know, brought her up at the last dance. And so she wanted to kind of be like, yes, bitch, I am Grace Jones. And this is me serving. So I understand that. However, again, it's like not really the place. The girls did an amazing dance. We could have kept it at that. But I guess it was the show popper. Because, I mean, the girls, honestly, with that performance, there were three elements. It was the beginning dance, the live instruments, and then, bam, when Miss Tracy came out. And it was flawless the whole way through. So I support that whole situation. But I want to know what you guys think. Did you think that Tracy getting involved with that, did you think that that was kind of like, let's leave it to the kids? Let me know below. So then the Dancing Dolls come out. Now, this was such a disappointment. Such a disappointment. So Diana is pulling out her, you know, crime tape, and I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be cute. We got the Home Depot, you know, little push cart things, and they bring in the girls out with the muzzles and the whole, you know, Silence of the Lamb outfits, and half the girls were just confused. It seemed like some of them didn't know the choreography, and I don't know if I could fully blame them for that. The other girls look like... Now, what I will blame for is the energy level, because the energy level was not there. It was like half the girls, you know, were putting their arms straight up. The other half were like halfway doing it. And I'm like, girl, you should have really did like 4 cuts to see what these girls were really going to bring to this table. I mean, maybe nerves were up there, because if I saw that African Zulu dance with them girls, like... You know what I mean? I might be a little nervous too. I also think, you know, Tracy had brought up that she thinks that Diana's all about the prop and the big bang and the surprise of that. And maybe that's what Diana was going off of, because even the dance routine was kind of like, okay. So it was like almost like these because the concept, it was like these cheerleading girls came out and like ripped open the crazy girls shirts, and then they were free and they did this whole dance. It was just kind of like, okay, there was a creative concept there. I don't think it was fully executed. I don't think it was and I don't think it was the dancers' fault, to be quite honest. I think that the concept was kind of half-assed, and I think that there was a confusion on the creative side as well as the dancing side. So I'm wondering if that's, you know, Miss Diana, like, you know, maybe you need to involve the kids more, like how we saw Tracy involving, you know, her girls a little more. Just a thought. So, then we get to the stand dance, and it's the Dancing Dolls versus YCDT Superstars. YCDT goes first. They came out with their boxing robes, very in sync. It was cute. They did this thing where they put the girl up and on their shoulders, and then she like falls forward, comes back up, and she was like bucking up on top of the pyramid. I was like, okay. Very in sync. Then we get the dancing dolls to go, and they had great energy. Andre had great energy. The backflip thing, I wish he had done a little more, but I get it. Your foot hurt, and so it looked like he only did half of what he was supposed to do. But then he got out there and he was jerking it, twerking it, all of the above. And Andre, I felt, really brought that energy to the girls. I felt like the girls during the stand dance did way better. I think that they were personally better than YCDT. I think YCDT, it was cute with the boxing thing and, you know, the little bats. But performance-wise, I personally feel that the Dancing Dolls delivered better in that round. Not the first round, but the second round, for sure. Especially the mixture of hip-hop, ballet. You know, I feel like sometimes we can get swayed over by props and things like that. I'm wondering if the unison of, because the outfits for YCDT were 10 times better, like the color coordination, just the matching of the bat, the matching of the boxing thing, like everything with YCDT was on point. Like even Tracy's hair was matching them. So I think Diana has to clean up a little bit on the creative side, because she kept saying, this was my idea, this was my idea, this was my idea. Well, girl, like, sometimes you don't want to be saying it's your idea, because sometimes your idea ain't gonna always be the idea. But it was cute little competition. So we get to the winners. Third place was Virtuous Divine. Now I know why they call them Virtuous Divine, because God's just blessing them. God's just over here like, it's okay, I got you guys. Dazzling Stars got second place, and then first place was YCDT Superstars. And I'm like, because I'm not going to lie, I was very confused as to why we were only seeing what we were seeing during the Dancing Dolls performance. But they was probably like, that shit was so horrible, we couldn't even show you half of it. So they didn't even place. That's embarrassing. And then we get to the stand battle, which honestly, I kind of thought the Dancing Dolls were going to take that one home. But they didn't. YCDT won that one too as well. And, I mean, basically, Miss Diana said the same thing that went through my head. I was like, y'all really got beat by Virtuous Divine. Like, that really happened. Yeah. And I love Miss Whitney, because Whitney, she was really upset. She was telling these kids, like, I be out here. And I get that, because, you know what I mean, when you love somebody, it's kind of like, you know, my relationship with Britney Spears. Like, I just rooted all the way for her. I was like, yes, like, don't you talk about Britney. She's coming back. She's coming back. And then she's just still be in Vegas. Like, you know, Whitney just out here. She's supporting the dolls. So when the dolls don't do what the dolls gonna do, she out here like, y'all thought you was funny with the African Zulu dance, and y'all thought you was gonna get it, but wait until you see they got their masks on, and they are man eaters, and they is gonna eat you. You know what I mean? She was out there just being a cheerleader, talking all that smack, all that shit, and the girls are supposed to back that up. And they did it, and Miss Whitney wanted them to understand that this don't happen. Never in the history of the Dancing Dolls have they not gotten anything. And today was the day. Now, I am proud of Miss Diana, because I was scared of what she was going to say to these girls. But she said, sometimes you got to hit your head. And hopefully, I'm glad you hit your head, because hopefully this will wake you up. Because I feel bad for whoever next week is. I feel bad for these girls for the next week, to prep for next week. So she said, y'all got to suck it up, and keeps it pushing. And that's all we have for you guys. So make sure you guys hit us up at AfterBuzz TV on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You guys can tweet me at DJ Jesse J. And also hit us up on, did I just say Facebook? I already did. Follow us at AfterBuzz TV on Facebook. Peace.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AFTERBUZZ TV or its owners or principals.